Hello everyone and welcome to SmackDown, live here in Phoenix, Arizona, as we cross the halfway point towards the grandest weekend of them all, WrestleMania. It is another great evening of SmackDown action on your way, and it is one massive main event that we've all got our eyes on. The WWE Champion, Tommaso Ciampa, in action again here tonight. But this time, it's against Death Rider himself, Jon Moxley. What a main event we are going to have here on SmackDown. What a night of action it is going to be, and we are going to take it to the ring right here, right now. Starting things off big this evening, as we will find out who will face Becky Lynch next week for the opportunity to challenge Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It is a grudge match that will finally be decided here tonight. Warm welcome to you all, wherever you are this evening, for tonight's episode of SmackDown, as this long-standing rivalry between Asuka and Nikki Cross finally reaches its ending point here tonight. All started, of course, back at the Royal Rumble. The two got in on one another. They got there straight at each other's throats. And it ended up with both of them being eliminated simultaneously from that Women's Royal Rumble match. And the last time they squared off on SmackDown, it ended in a double countout between the two. General Manager Shawn Michaels, though, said that he wants to bring an end to this once and for all. Here tonight, no countouts between these two sides. Disqualification still well and truly in effect, but if they want to go fighting outside of the ring, then referee Jessica Carr will just have to let it slide. And of course, last week we saw Asuka getting the hand up on Nikki Cross, and even Becky Lynch for that matter, as the two would start attacking one another. Asuka came out to get her hands on Nikki Cross, sent her over the top rope, and then kicked the head off of Becky Lynch for good measure as well. And I would imagine that the man is going to be watching this one backstage, because her opponent for next week is either standing in the ring or standing on the entrance ramp right now. Whichever one it is going to be a dangerous competitor. There's no doubt about it. And this is going to be a very, very dangerous match between these two competitors, these two rivals, these two women who definitely, bitterly dislike one another. We have heard through the weeks that have passed, we heard Asuka, Nikki Cross rather, saying that she just wanted to play a game with Asuka, but that Asuka didn't play games. And she wasn't going to play one with Nikki Cross either. They were going to play a game, she was going to kick her head off. That would be the game that they would play. Since then, it has been all physical contact. 2 weeks ago, of course, it was Nikki Cross who cost Asuka a match against Tegan Knox by countout, hiding underneath the ring until Asuka went outside of the ring and then denied her the opportunity to get back in the ring. But now here we are between these two sides. The distaste has been building up for a long, long time, and we're finally going to get to see, with effectively nothing stopping these two from us finally getting what we have longed to see, just what will happen when the fight gets underway. Bell rings, and it's Nikki Cross who comes out of the gates. Asuka caught napping there, turned off to the side there, I'm not sure why, and not allowed the former SmackDown Women's Champion to get her hands on the former Raw Women's Champion. Well, this time last year, both were heading into WrestleMania with their sights set on gold. Nikki Cross on regaining the SmackDown Women's Championship. Asuka was heading into WrestleMania as the Raw Women's Champion. But this is about just these two's hatred for one another, plain and simple. And the reward at the end of it is an opportunity at Becky Lynch next week, and the reward at the end of that, should the winner of this contest go on to beat Lynch next week, is Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So let's see what will happen between these two sides. So far, it is Nikki Cross who has got the upper hand on Asuka, breaking up the heavy hits early on here, just smacking her way into Asuka, and once again we watch them fly over the top rope into the floor, How many times has that happened between these two sides? The crossbody that eliminated them at the Rumble has almost become a move in the repertoire of Nikki Cross at this point. Well, now here they are on the outside, and you see Jessica Carr just standing in the ring and watching on. She's powerless to stop them. No countouts in this affair, because we've seen what they can get up to in the past number of weeks, and his head first into the ring post. For Nikki Cross on that one. Asuka with her up on his shoulders now at the fireman's carry position, and it doesn't look very good for Nikki Cross either. Oh, the back being sent crashing into that barricade. Designed to keep fans out, not exactly designed to have much give at all. And now it's Asuka who's reigning in the strikes, the kicks. Onto Nikki Cross as she sends her over that barricade. Not only onto the concrete flooring over it, but into the crowd as well. The fight spilling into the audience, and once again, there is nothing the referee can do about this. We just have to watch what is going on between these two. That is a dangerous setting to be in, no doubt about it. And look at this now, Asuka holding on to Nikki Cross, and driving her down into that production crate there. And as we go into the crowd here, it is Asuka who has control over Nikki Cross. Perhaps a little bit surprising there, Asuka feeling the momentum. Oh, what a backhand from Asuka. No respect on that one, didn't even look at Nikki Cross and just smacked her in the face. But that seems to have woken up Nikki Cross a little bit now. Cross, go behind, and reverse DDT into the concrete flooring. Absolutely no give on that. The very foundations of this arena, Asuka's body was just driven into there by the psychotic Nikki Cross. But still Asuka fights on here. Still the pair getting in each other's face. Right hand countered there by Cross with one of her own. Definitely safe to say this match has spent more time out of the ring than in it thus far. No countouts may apply, but you have to win in the ring in order to go on to that contest against Becky Lynch next week. Shawn Michaels set this up so that there must be a winner, and so far, so good, it has to be said. They were surrounded by weaponry there, but they stayed far away from it. Their focus is on one another. And it's Asuka who has control of a Cross here as they go further into the crowd here. Big shots raining in from Asuka on Cross. Knee in the gut there again from Asuka. Oh, right hander from Cross comes back there. Headbutt in the back of the head. Narrow, almost alleyway that they're striking each other in. Between that alleyway of bodies. Neither going off their feet and just raining into heavy shots on one another. We came to expect this from these two, and we're certainly getting it now. Uppercut from Cross. Headbutt in the back of the head again, and now it's her who's got the upper hand on Asuka. And Asuka, right hand again, and she goes tumbling over the top of that barricade and back to the ringside area there. Up to her feet. Might not know exactly where she is. Cross coming in with a head of steamer, driving her down. Look out now, it's Cross who has Asuka up on his shoulder, and snake eyes into the steps. Absolutely legal. Bending the rules slightly for sure, but nothing that Jessica Carr can do to disqualify Nikki Cross as we finally get back within the squared circle for this contest. And it's a big back suplex from Nikki Cross, who drives Asuka down into the mat for good measure. It was Cross who had the upper hand when we went out of the ring. Momentum did certainly swing in the way of Asuka, but as we've come back in the ring, it is Cross who is cooking on all cylinders right now. And look out, Nikki Cross setting Asuka up there and driving her down with a twisting neckbreaker suplex there. Cover is made as Cross gonna face Lynch next week. Kick out at 2. Nikki Cross using every inch of the ring, though, to her advantage. Cross up, back up to their feet there, and it's Asuka who comes in with the right hand, taking Cross down. And finally, there is some life that has returned to the Empress in this one. And not a moment too soon, because she was starting to look in trouble there. Asuka, spinning kick in the gut, Cross down on one knee, and rushes her body in. Tackle on Cross, cover made, kick out of 2. Once again, Asuka tries to put this away, but once again, Cross able to carry on fighting. Seen some big moves on both sides now. So let's see where the fight goes from here. Clubbing blow there from Nikki Cross. Is she thinking the purge? No, fisherman suplex instead, but doesn't look for the bridge after it. Instead, what has Cross got up his sleeve? Oh no. Oh no, Nikki Cross in the corner. Nikki Cross removing the turnbuckle pad. And now look at her. She is sending her head into the turnbuckle pad to illustrate to Asuka that is what she is about to send the Empress into. Has her here. Asuka counters. Nikki Cross almost brushing her back of the head across that turnbuckle pad there. But it's Nikki Cross who gets sent into it. Almost a faux pas. The one who sets it up is the one who must go through it or into it. And that could certainly be said for Nikki Cross on this occasion. Asuka full head of steam charging her body into the face. And Nikki Cross once again lifts her up and kicks her head off the same way as she did Becky Lynch last week. This is Asuka's territory right now, and it is time to finish it off. Give an assist to the ring pole, but it's the Asuka lock. It is the Asuka lock stitched in. Wait, Cross just broke out of it. Before it could even be locked in, Nikki Cross broke out of it and sends Asuka chest first into the turnbuckle. Turnabout is certainly fair play, but Cross is going to get more than her fair share of it. Oh, Asuka sent head first into it now. What the hell is Cross doing? You never know with that mind of Nikki Cross. They're up on the top rope. Cross, what is she doing here? Oh my goodness, no. No! A brain buster! Onto the exposed turnbuckle rung. The purge follows up. Cross will hook the leg of Asuka. And Nikki Cross has beaten Asuka. It is Lynch versus Cross next week on SmackDown. But a sickening end to that match as a result of the deranged mind of Nikki Cross going to the very turnbuckle that she exposed and celebrating on it. The turnbuckle that she drove the head of Asuka down onto. Cross your winner in this one, but it's Becky Lynch. Lynch on a Titantron. And oh, Nikki Cross is going straight for her. Cross knows she's backstage, and Cross is charging up the ramp. And charging to the backstage area. And Lynch is already getting the hell out of here. And there's Nikki Cross in tow. Cross is going to chase Lynch out of the arena. Maybe even out of the whole state. If this is what they're doing now, imagine what we're going to see in that matchup next week. Perfect response is clear. They want the gold as well. The ultimatum turned down there as we head into our next contest, Kevin Owens and Matt Riddle. And earlier today we caught up with both men as we found out earlier today that this match is serving as an eliminator for the Intercontinental Championship. Kevin Owens not beating around any bushes when it comes to this contest with Matt Riddle here tonight. He wants to be Intercontinental Champion and he's not afraid to cut corners to do it. He's not afraid to beat anyone up that he respects to do it. Kevin Owens hunts for gold. And if there is someone between him and said gold, well, he's going to go through them to make sure it's his. But here is his opponent this evening, the original bro himself. A man who would certainly look great with an Intercontinental title around his waist, and the man who has certainly had a number of run-ins in the past with Kota Ibushi himself. We caught up with Matt Riddle as well, and this was what he had to say. Fighting talk from both sides, no doubt about it, as we gear up for what should be a very entertaining contest here on SmackDown between two equally entertaining athletes. This one could definitely go either way. It is two different styles colliding in this contest. And I am looking forward to what we see on the other side of it. Block up from both men. We're going to go to the ropes here. Clean break up against the ropes. Chance maybe for some last minute upper hand on the other, but neither look for it. Just a simple and effective clean break there. Good to see it, of course. Side headlock now by Riddle on Kevin Owens. Takes him down onto the mat here. I think there'll be another kind of contest from General Manager Shawn Michaels that we might hear announced earlier tonight or later on in the week at the center of the universe as to who else is in this Intercontinental Championship Eliminator. Certainly a very stacked field, what with the WWE Championship having been locked up just a few days after WrestleMania. And now you find yourself with the likes of Kevin Owens, Matt Riddle. Of course, there's definitely others on the SmackDown roster I would be looking at as well with an eye on towards this. Maybe the likes of a Damian Priest or maybe a Big E. Those are some names that have been making some headwaves within the SmackDown roster over the last few weeks. But of course, you look at some of the stable and long-standing names on this roster as well. You know, the ever-present Bobby Fish always comes to mind. Even though he fell at the Rumble, there's no denying that he might want another shot at that gold. As Kevin Owens got a nice 2 count there off that torture rack neck breaker. Whatever the case may be, it is up to the General Manager Shawn Michaels. I am just here to call the action on this brand as Owens misses with a corner in the turnbuckle there, rather. Up on the shoulders. Oh, Samoan driver there. Nicely done from Riddle. Did you see the... Owens was looking to wiggle his way free of that one, and Riddle did a good job of putting the brakes on that. And Riddle coming in with a front kick and a kip up after it as well. Of course, no boots really to give an extra bit of oomph to that kick, but with the MMA training that Matt Riddle has been through in the past, you can guarantee that that move does indeed hurt. Nice German suplex as well, showcasing his strength for good measure. Back up to a vertical basis. Owens counters there. Forearm super kick. And that was what I was alluding to. A boot of Kevin Owens. Driving Riddle to the floor. Go home. Driver follows up there from Owens. But he can't capitalize with a cover. Riddle trying to get back up to his feet. Owens will help him back up to his feet. But only to take him right back down. The Samoan drop. Kevin Owens, of course, a long-standing name on the SmackDown roster as well. Held that Intercontinental Championship many moons ago. along with a myriad of WWE Championship reigns to his name, but right now it is Matt Riddle on the outside, and it is Kevin Owens with a cannonball tope to the floor. And momentum seriously swings in the favor of the multi-time WWE Champion. Owens camel clutch, dead center, middle of the ring. Riddle gonna have to fight out of this one himself. Submission expert is Matt Riddle. Certainly will do so. Nicely done there. Didn't try to power his way out with elbows, just went between the legs of Owens, took the legs of him underneath him, and now, using his striking game to great expertise, kicks in the chest. And one more for good measure, and Owens is taken down right there and then. Is it maybe Riddle's turn for a submission? No, but he's certainly going to work over the leg of Kevin Owens there. And Owens feeling that one, as Riddle now has turned control in this contest. Another kick in the chest and a kip up. We heard, of course, from Matt Riddle earlier. He said, is he dreaming his history repeating itself? It was this time last year that Riddle did see himself having opportunities at the likes of Kota Ibushi and then Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor heading into WrestleMania. And now he has the chance to do it all over again. Look out here from Riddle. Schoolboy, no. Check out the strength there from Matt Riddle. That is incredible. That is a cover. And that is a count of two on Kevin Owens. But a very strong bit of moves there from Matt Riddle. Certainly strong enough indeed to lift up Kevin Owens. That is no easy feat. Riddle showcasing pound for pound how strong he is. Holding Owens in that side headlock. Ducks under the lariat. Nicely done, and a kick in the chest. Takes Owens off his feet as well. Riddle just having the wherewithal right now to really find the perfect timings to stop Kevin Owens, to take him off his feet, and to... Oh, stunner! Spoke too soon and Owens made him pay. Cover. Is it all she wrote? Yeah. No. Riddle kicks out of two. Well, you can certainly put as much of a stop to Kevin Owens as you want, but that stunner absolutely put Matt Riddle in his place there, and it's not going to get any better. Hammerlock, Russian leg sweep from Kevin Owens, and now we are seeing what makes you one of the most successful athletes within the WWE. What makes you a multi-time WWE champion? Oh, misses though with that cannonball sent off from the second rope. And Riddle will take full advantage of it. In the turnbuckle we go now. Swings him round and drives him down on his knee and then into the mat for good measure. It's Riddle on the top rope. Some uncharted waters, floating bro! Cover is made. Has Riddle put away Owens? No! Oh, but so close again for one of these competitors in this contest. Been throwing an awful lot at one another, and it might be about to end. Will it be Bro Derek? Will it be the Bro Mission? No! It is counted either way by Kevin Owens, who cradles in Riddle before delivering the back suplex. Just shows, though, what you got to do to keep Kevin Owens down. Remember, this isn't even for a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. This is just to get yourself one step closer to it. You can see how much both those guys want this. Oh, what a kitchen sink knee there. From Riddle onto Owens. And once again, the opportunity presents itself for Matt Riddle, but Kevin Owens puts it to a stop. And delivers a big right hand to take him down there. Counter made by Riddle in turn. Counter made by Owens in turn. These guys seem to know each other so well. Having so much up their sleeves for one another. But what's Owens got here up on the top rope? He's got him. Oh! Single arm DDT using the top rope as leverage, and that has set up the beginning of the end. Pop-up power bomb from Owens. hooks a leg of Riddle, and just like that, Kevin Owens beats Matt Riddle. That DDT set up the beginning of the end for Matt Riddle. And after the pop-up powerbomb, it was elementary. Owens moves on and one step closer to the Intercontinental title. Well, ladies and gentlemen, earlier this week we were allowed the opportunity to see into the training camp of Trish Stratus as she prepares for her upcoming match at WrestleMania against the boss Sasha Banks, calling on two friends and two old rivals as well in Lita and Mickie James to check that she still had what it takes within the ring, and that was certainly the case, as can be seen from the snippets here. With Lita and Mickie James almost ganging up on Trish Stratus, she was able to take the fight to both of them with a really nice top rope hurricanrana there. Even though Trish Stratus is giving up a number of years towards her opponent at WrestleMania, as was declared last week, she is showing no signs of giving up a fight to Sasha Banks in that one, and capping off her training with a move she can deliver better than anyone else. Stratusfaction Bulldog to take Mickie James down. Certainly a return to the ring on the levels that it was at the Royal Rumble for Trish Stratus, but despite all that being said, there was a little bit more after training she had to say. So while training seems to be going well for Trish Stratus, there may be a thing or two that she isn't fully on board with yet. As she said, find out what that is next week. I'm curious to see what it is that is in the mind of Trish Stratus as she heads towards her contest with Sasha Banks at the grandest weekend of them all, as it now is, WrestleMania. Well, we move on here in the ring though. Here on SmackDown, it is going to be a very interesting match, as it is Cody Rhodes to take on the Rainmaker himself, Kazuchika Okada. Two former world champions locking up here on SmackDown ahead of our big main event, our almost WrestleMania-worthy main event, you could say. But this is certainly going to be an interesting one. Okada, of course, we've seen in the past weeks, ever since TLC really, has been getting into things with the Switchblade Jay White, and that has really been amplifying itself in the weeks following up from the Royal Rumble. And of course a third party as well in Robert Roode adding to the fray as well. Roode of course ticked off for the actions of Jay White and has almost aligned himself with Okada, but Okada doesn't really see things the same way. Question will be, of course, with everything that has been going on as of late, for as fantastic as a competitor as Okada is, has it been getting under the skin of the Rainmaker? When he was WWE champion, he was unbreakable almost, impenetrable. It's been some time since the Rainmaker held that title now, and has the abilities within him frayed slightly. Well, I'll tell you what hasn't frayed for the Superstar of the Year, and that is the support that he has everywhere we go. Big ovation for the Rainmaker. A man who spent an incredible amount of last year with that WWE Championship by his side and around his waist. It seems right now that it is not going to be. Okada heading into a third straight WrestleMania to compete for the WWE Championship. But it does feel as if he is heading into a full-on collision with the Switchblade at some point, whenever that may be. But right now, Okada got to try and put his mind beyond Jay White, beyond what's been going on between him, Robert Roode, and the Switchblade over these past few weeks, and focus on Cody Rhodes here tonight. It is about picking up victories for the Rainmaker. It is about showing why you voted him a Superstar of the Year, and it is about making sure that everyone remembers that the Rainmaker is one of, if not the top name on SmackDown, even without the WWE Championship, for a reason. The figurehead of SmackDown, I certainly still call him, even after everything that has gone on, even without that WWE Championship around his waist, even though he didn't even get to take part in the Royal Rumble as a result of Jay White. When I think SmackDown, I think Kazuchika Okada. And that is really what is going to make it a tough evening for Cody Rhodes. Rhodes knows what it's like to be at the top of SmackDown as well. He is a former world champion. But Okada has been there longer. And Okada just has that aura about him. As you see the Okada bucks fall from the ceiling. That he belongs there. And that he has no intentions of letting up being at the very top. But of course, he's got to stay at the very top of his level as well. And that is exactly what an opponent like Cody Rhodes can do. He can get the very best out of you, but he might even be able to get a victory out of you as well if you take him too lightly. Something that I do not think Okada is going to be doing at all in this contest. So here we go. They get things underway. Collabo tie-ups. Chain wrestling between these two incredible athletes. No doubt about it. Slight height advantage for Okada. Weight pretty much dead even, I would say, between the two. So let's see what will happen here as they lock up with one another. Nice little break there. Okada rolling back up to his feet, getting in a few shots on Cody Rhodes there. Even though, of course, the recent history, of course, dictates about Cody Rhodes being in a tag team with Dolph Ziggler. As I was saying in his entrance, let's not mask over the fact that Cody Rhodes is an incredibly talented in-ring athlete as a singles competitor, former Intercontinental Champion, former World Heavyweight Champion. Rhodes has done an awful lot. The only difference is, though, is that that was many, many moons ago for Cody Rhodes. And Okada's WWE Championship reign only came to an end back at Survivor Series. Wall went for an early dropkick attempt there, but Cody Rhodes snuffed that one out, and it'll be a signature move of Rhodes coming into play. Alabama slam off of the back of the mistake they made by Okada, thinking he could get in a move. Like the dropkick that early on. Rhodes certainly showing, though, that he has scouted Okada ahead of tonight's contest. The counter that he had there for that dropkick, that early dropkick attempt, it must be said. Side effect, nailed it, 2 count. Rhodes, who gets in, well, has to be said, the first 2 big moves of that matchup there, Side Effect and the Alabama Slam. Look out here in the turnbuckle. Okada comes stumbling out of it, caught there. Nice roll up from Rhodes. Has he beaten the Rainmaker by surprise here? 2 count. And if you catch Okada off guard, that doesn't mean you're going to be able to put away the Rainmaker that easily. But what I will say is it has not been a strong start for Okada in this contest. I don't know if it's ring rust. I don't know if it's Cody Rhodes. Oh my! What a back suplex. I was going to say I don't know if it's Cody Rhodes playing spoiler perhaps, or if it is Jay White nestling in the mind of Okada as this matchup furthers on here, though. Okada seems to be regaining his composure. Red Ink is locked in here. Middle of the ring. Will Rhodes have to tap out to Red Ink? Locked in deep. Nowhere to go for Rhodes, but he's not going to be tapping out this early to that hold. Back elbow gets him out of it. Vertical base as they're back up to, but Okada with a flying forearm and a kip up after it. I think he's found his edge now. Okada's found his edge, and it's an air raid crash neck breaker to drive him into the mat. Cover made by Okada. Has he written off Cody Rhodes already? 2 count. That's sort of a thing that you see though in a lot of Okada matches. He almost starts slow and builds himself up as time goes on. Okada is definitely not a sprint athlete. Those guys who, when the bell rings, they just charge at you from the very start and just look to put you away from the moment the bell rings. Look at Alabama Slam. Oh, nice counter there by Okada. Has it in you, Cobra Clutch. Russian leg sweep. Nice there from Okada. And goes after the arm for good measure. Simple but effective thinking there from the Rainmaker. But as I was about to say, I mean, Okada is someone who plays the long game. He's a guy who can wrestle for 71 minutes, as we saw at Survivor Series against Seth Rollins. He is a guy who was built to last in that ring, not built to put a contest away in a few minutes. But Rhodes certainly thinks that his game plan for success is trying to put away Okada while he's in that build-up phase, while he's getting ready for the contest, while he's building himself up to that point. He's got to try and put him away as soon as he can. No one home on that elbow drop. Nasty landing. Okada has him up. And a big-time fireman's carry slam there. Comes in, hooks the leg after it. Rhodes gets a shoulder up at 2 though. But there you see what happens when Okada is cooking on full cylinders. Beautifully executed moves such as that one. Top rope, frog splash. Down on them. Down onto Rhodes for good measure as well. And the American Nightmare in trouble here. Without his tag partner and Dolph Ziggler, maybe he thought he wanted to prove himself against Okada by himself. But Okada, as to be expected, making it a difficult affair in this one. Back suplex. No! Spinner back suplex there instead. Nicely done. Rhodes will take the risk. Top rope. High risk district. Will it pay off here? Moonsault. Oh, got all of it. And he's going to look for the upset. Rhodes going to look for Crossroads. Okada says absolutely no way that's happening. And again, goes back to safety. Goes back to the Cobra Clutch. Russian leg sweep follows up after it. And the momentum is snuffed away from Cody Rhodes almost as quickly as he gained it in this contest. Incredibly smart thinking from Okada. Just what puts him on another level. It's just what puts Okada on another level. And I hope Jay White is watching this, because you can play as much mind games with Okada and you might just get the upper hand with him in terms of mind games. But once you get in that ring, you are dealing with one of the greatest wrestlers who has ever graced this sport. And that is what sets Okada so far above so many others. And he has Rhodes up here. Tombstone from Okada, but he can't capitalize. He couldn't capitalize there. Took a few moments to get up to his feet, but the Rainmaker pose will strike, but those few moments cost him. Rhodes counters the Rainmaker attempt. Oh, smacks him across the chest for good measure. And now, Rhodes, look at this. Elevated flatliner, using the ropes as leverage. Very intelligent thinking from Cody Rhodes on that one. Lifts him up to a vertical basis once again, taking gasps of air. And he has Okada lined up and turnabout is fair play. Okada nailed one. Cody will nail one. Using the ropes, hit that DDT there. Rhodes almost saying, anything you can do, I can do better. He's calling Okada to his feet. Does he sense the end of this contest on its way? Oh, he's going to go for 2. Rhodes going for broke. And he gets both of them. Rope to rope there with those DDTs. And Okada, maybe his momentum, maybe his morale dented after the denied Rainmaker attempt. That gave an opening for Rhodes, but Okada counters. Drop kick from the top. And he's in trouble again. Air raid crash neck breaker. All focusing on the head. Strike the Rainmaker pose. Rainmaker Undertaker. Thanks for coming, Cody Rhodes. But Okada remains on a different level to everyone else. Oh, what? Jay White! Why were they abandon Okada this time? Blade Runner! And this time there was nothing Okada could do about it. White strikes with the Blade Runner. Down goes the Rainmaker. But here comes Rude. Robert Roode to the crowd. But a moment too late, it would seem, as White runs for safety and the Rainmaker's down in the ring. Robert Roode has had enough. He wants the Switchblade in this ring next week. Will he get his wishes? It maintains to be seen. But next week on this show, folks, we have plenty coming up for you already. It will be another contest in the Intercontinental Championship Eliminator between Damian Priest and Big E. What a big boy match that is going to be. And as we saw, as was declared earlier this evening, next week, it's Nikki Cross and Becky Lynch, one-on-one here on SmackDown. The winner of that goes to WrestleMania to face Shayna Baszler for the SmackDown Women's Championship. There could be a lot to look forward to next week. But there's a lot to look forward to right now. Listen to the ovation for that man. Death Rider enters the building. It is a main event in Phoenix. It is Death Rider and Blackheart one-on-one WrestleMania caliber match here on the blue brand. Moxley has already beaten the #1 contender in Ricochet. Can you imagine the scenes if he beat the WWE Champion here tonight? Moxley wasn't doing this for glory, wasn't doing this for opportunity. He stormed the ring after Ciampa beat Ibushi last week on this show and put it simple. I want you in this ring tonight, one-on-one. Ciampa didn't give an answer, but Shawn Michaels spoke on behalf of the Blackheart, and the match was set for tonight. And what a match it is gonna be between these two. You hear the roars for Moxley. And now we welcome in the boos for the champion. Certainly not hometown territory for the champion himself. The Blackheart enters amidst a sea of boos. But that is exactly where Ciampa feels most at home. With everyone looking at him, giving a reaction one way or the other. So long as he's clutching hold of Goldie, it doesn't matter to the Blackheart. And that is exactly what he has here this evening. What a main event we are in for, though. Shawn Michaels, has to be said, has put together a fantastic card here tonight of SmackDown action, and we are capping it off with one incredible contest between these two men. For Ciampa, it is about proving to Ricochet once again that there is a level between champion and challenger. And imagine the mental games, the mental advantage that Tommaso Ciampa would have over Ricochet if he could beat the man who Ricochet fell to 2 weeks ago on SmackDown. That would severely dent the Savior heading into WrestleMania, because not only would Ciampa have beaten a member of the Saviors, he would have beaten the man who knocked off the Savior as well. For Moxley, he doesn't care. He just wants to fight the champion, and that's what we're going to get here tonight, because the bell rings and we're underway for our main event of the evening. Let's get it going between these two. All that wrestling between the two. Remember, they certainly have the bit between their teeth. There's certainly an air of a rivalry, or at least some tension between these sides, but they are here to wrestle. They are here to see who is the better of the two, and that is what we're here for tonight. And it's Moxley who wants to pull the trigger on Ciampa, but all he allowed was for Ciampa to pull the knee into the face of Death Rider, and now Ciampa using his knee here as a weapon. That knee brace cover that was added to him after his defeat to Johnny Gargano all the way back at Guilty as Charged last year. And Ciampa, using it as a weapon from time to time, as we just saw there. That was brutal from the WWE Champion himself. Suplex lift into that knee. But it's Moxley who's coming back here, because you're going to need a hell of a lot more than just one knee in the face, or three knee in the faces to keep this man down. We saw that at King of the Ring. I mean, that's what's still a bit of a staggering part for me about Moxley. We saw him back at King of the Ring bleeding like a tap had been turned on and water was running underneath it. And then we saw him just a few days later go on and beat Ricochet. And now we're seeing him here tonight taking on Tommaso Ciampa. There is no way Moxley has been near 100% in the past 6 weeks at least. And yet he is still taking the fight, not only to the Royal Rumble winner, but to the WWE Champion as well. Ciampa has Moxley in though and drives him down into the mat there. Cover here by Ciampa, doesn't even hook the leg, and there's the shoulder up in time from Jon Moxley for good measure. Moxley trying to get himself up to his feet right after the count as well, but look at this now, it's Ciampa from behind. Oh! Taking a page out of the man who we beat for that WWE Championship, who we just saw in action. Oh, 2 count there off of Tommaso Ciampa's rendition of the Rainmaker. But it's the champion who has Moxley in control right now, and is just delivering brutal move after brutal move, and Moxley has no response for it. This is why he's the champion. He may have cashed in Money in the Bank, but we've seen what Tommaso Ciampa can do. We saw it at the Royal Rumble against Jay White. We saw it last week against Kota Ibushi. And we're seeing it again here tonight so far, it does have to be said, against Moxley himself. The leader of Paradigm, but the man focused here tonight on trying to derail the WWE Champion as he hits a nice forearm bulldog combination. Interestingly as well, has to be said, elbow drop no one home. But of course Tommaso Ciampa had a front side seat to the contest between Moxley and Ricochet. Ricochet on the other hand, nowhere to be seen, but there's the trash talking again from Tommaso Ciampa. Oh! Well, you wanted him to do something, and there it is. We saw it almost cost him last week against Kota Ibushi, and it's certainly affecting him again. He runs his mouth and he almost bites off more than he can chew in the process. Ciampa loves his mind games, but all it's done is fire up Jon Moxley in the same way it fired up Kota Ibushi, and that is the absolute last thing that you want to be doing. Oh, nice lariat though in the back of the head by Tommaso Ciampa, and now that he slowed down the offense of Moxley, it's a cloverleaf locked in here. Knee in the small of the back for good measure as well. Moxley in trouble, feeling the pain of that one. And he's kicking his way out of it as well. Back up to a vertical basis they go. Moxley in, small package, roll up as he knocked off the WWE Champion. Here there's one and no more than that. But now they are really delivering the fight to each other. You can feel that the tensions have built up to another level between these two sides as Moxley delivers a snap suplex there. Turns him round, middle of the ring. Ciampa's turned to be locked in trouble. Regal stretch applied here. Moxley with the Regal stretch locked in, and Ciampa with nowhere to turn to. Does the WWE Champion have to tap out in this one? No, rolls his way out of it, nicely done, and gets in another running knee in this contest. Once again, it's the knee with the brace on it that Ciampa can use as added leverage. Oh, but it's Moxley who comes back with a big kick in the face there, who climbs to the top rope for good measure. Incoming, no! Took too long to get settled on the top rope. Ciampa made him pay. Driving him down into the mat for good measure. Ciampa now on the second rope, and oh! Elbow drop across the face of Moxley. Maybe even the bridge of the nose. And Ciampa trying to say that this one's over between these two. Brings him in. Knee in the face again to Moxley. And the boos are raining out for Ciampa right now, as once again the cloverleaf is applied. Moxley can see the ropes, but he can't reach them. Almost as if they're an inch too far away, but he has no plans of staying in that cloverleaf any longer than he has to. Back up to their feet. Ciampa sent over the top rope here. Moxley in with a full head of steam, and this time it's Ciampa who comes up with the counter. Back between the ropes, and that knee connects again. And Ciampa, look at the finish off Moxley. Knee trembling, no! Moxley moved out of the way of that one. And now, heavy-hitting strikes on their way for Ciampa, who's thrown outside of the ring here. WWE Champion in trouble. Moxley eyeing up his prey. Death Rider flies! What a contest this has been. What a main event it has been. But might Jon Moxley have done enough to finish it off? There's the cover. Ciampa kicks out at 2. You can see though that Ciampa is feeling the wherewithal of that suicide dive. He is feeling the wherewithal of 2 matches in 2 weeks for good measure as well. Moxley definitely isn't fresh. But that's almost where Moxley thrives, when his body is at its peak of pain. It's almost as if it unlocks another edge within Moxley to capitalize on. Back suplex, gets all of it, the champ goes back down. We are certainly seeing the makings of what you have to be, of what you have to go through to be a champion from both of these men. Up on the top rope they go. Moxley setting up Ciampa. Whatever it is, you know it ain't gonna be good. It's a long way down from that high up. And it was Ciampa who felt all of it with that double underhook superplex. Moxley signaling that he's ready to finish off things. Incoming paradigm shift is denied. And Ciampa with a strike combination takes him down. But Moxley gets right up to his feet. Death Rider's fight continues on, but Ciampa moved out of the way there in the turnbuckle. And Moxley ain't nothing but the floor beneath him. German suplex follows up for good measure. And now the guts of both men are being shown off, yeah. Great strength by Ciampa to deliver that maneuver there. Moxley down, and where's Ciampa going now? Ciampa on the outside, yeah. And it's as if he's calling. As if he's signaling for Moxley to meet him out there. And you don't need to invite Moxley twice, because he certainly will. The fight is on now outside of the ring in this one. And look at the strikes being delivered from these two. They've had the interactions with one another in the past. Oh no. Oh no, this is where we saw it before. This is where we saw where Ciampa almost kicked Moxley's head into the ring post. Don't do it again. No, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Ciampa's gonna kick his head off. Oh! Moxley had it scattered. Instead, it's Ciampa who goes into the ring post. Back into the ring we go, and it's Moxley with all the momentum. A fantastic counter, has to be said, but Ciampa counters him again. Oh, and there's the knee once again in this thing. Ciampa in the turnbuckle, looking for the knee troubler again. Oh, again Moxley moves. Again he finds a way to move out of the way of that thing. Neither guy giving each other any opportunity to win this thing. Moxley has it. Forearm, rebound. Oh, but Ciampa with a lariat of his own. Countering each other all over the place, and this time, he gets the knee. And maybe this time he's beaten Moxley. Wait a minute. Project Ciampa. No. Moxley hammers his way out of it. Moxley in. Paradigm shift. No. Ciampa catches the boot again. He spins him round. Ciampa kick in the gut. Fairy tale ending. Moxley counters. Lariat, and they both go down. Countering everything they had. Moxley now. What's he doing? Oh, brings him over. Wait. Stitches in. Back mount. Bulldog choke. Bulldog choke. Moxley's got a bulldog choke on Ciampa. That arm wrapped underneath the chin of Ciampa. Grabbing at the throat. Ciampa not tapping though. Refusing to tap out. Can the Blackheart find a way out of this thing? He's hanging on in there. But for how much longer? With the bell rings, he did it! Moxley beat Ciampa! Everything in the kitchen sinked on at the end, but look at the replay. I don't think he tapped out. I think Ciampa passed out in the bulldog choke. The Blackheart went to sleep, but Moxley wins. Choking out the WWE Champion. And there is the General Manager himself. Jon Moxley has just gatecrashed another party. The main event of WrestleMania changed again. It is a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. Moxley, Ciampa, and Ricochet for the title in Tampa Bay. Oh my goodness! Ricochet from behind! The Savior! Assaulting Moxley! As if 2 weeks ago wasn't bad enough! Now Ricochet has to know that Moxley's going to WrestleMania! And Ricochet wants his revenge! Save yourself! Moxley may have been added to the triple threat, but that was Ricochet's match all along. And now Moxley finds himself locked between a Blackheart and a Savior for the WWE title.